Welcome back to Get Well Acadiana with Dr. Kevin. Welcome to the first show of 2018, and I'm excited to be here. For those of you that have missed us the last couple of weeks, I took a little break to plan the year ahead and to strategize on some of the great topics that I'm going to be bringing you this year. We have got some amazing things coming up for you in 2018. So thank you for tuning in. I'm here with my co-host and good friend, Brandon Como. Brandon, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Really looking forward to today's show, getting back into it.
Oh, I'm excited. I want to kick this year off with a bang. And for those of you that are regular listeners to the show, I wanted to thank you for your dedication to learning natural solutions to today's worst health problems every week on the show. And for those of you that have maybe never tuned into the show before, I wanted to welcome you as well. This is the show that's designed to do more than just to be something interesting to listen to every Saturday morning. This is the show that can change your life and change your health for the future. And we're going to be discussing some topics this year that deal with some really profound advancements in the field of natural medicine and natural health care. We are experiencing a paradigm shift in natural health care right now, today. And this show is at the forefront of that. We will be discussing some of the latest advancements in natural health care. And, you know, there's just some amazing things going on. And the work that we're doing, when you boil it down, it deals with changing function at a cellular level using totally natural means. And that means that we support the body's ability to heal from some of the worst health problems in society, and we do it all without drugs or surgery. The reason that I come do this show with you, and the reason that I go speak to groups and clubs and organizations, and the reason that I go into companies and do corporate wellness programs and speak about natural solutions to disease processes, the reason that I do all of those things is because my purpose in life, other than to be a great dad, my purpose in life is to try to help as many people as possible achieve a higher level of health through today's most effective natural solutions. And if you listen to this show for very long, one of the first things you're going to learn is that your health issues that you're dealing with are not normal. People's health have gotten in such bad shape as Americans that it's just normal for us to feel bad and to be low energy and to have pain and to have 2 or 3 disease processes going on and to be on 4 or 5 different medications. All this is just normal to us now, but that is not normal, and it's not okay. The truth is, Americans' health is in real trouble. Every statistic you look at, our health is failing. And the truth is, Americans are sicker than ever before. And in Acadiana and in Louisiana, we're ranked at the bottom. We have one of the worst death rates, one of the worst obesity rates, one of the worst cancer rates, some of the worst cardiovascular rates. And the reason that I'm bringing all this up is I want you to know that you don't have to live that way. I want 2018 to be the year that you turn it around. And I'm not talking about starting some New Year's resolution that lasts for 2 weeks. I mean really turning it around this year. And that's what we do. That's what this show's about. But when you have a healthcare system that's based on covering up symptoms, that's based on masking worse and worse symptoms with more and more medication, that's what you're going to get. A very expensive system with really sick people. Now follow me here for a second. Even if you have no symptoms whatsoever, that doesn't mean that you're healthy. You can have no symptoms and die of a heart attack. In fact, 40% of the time, the first sign that someone has heart disease is they have a fatal heart attack. So this guy had no symptoms whatsoever, woke up feeling fine, was thankful for his good health, and died on the way to work of a heart attack. Was he healthy? He had no symptoms, but he died. And you hear people say, he wasn't sick a day in his life. Well, of course he was. He was sick for years, but was using his symptoms as his barometer of health. On the other hand, you could have someone that has the most symptoms you could imagine. This poor guy could be throwing up and have severe diarrhea and high fever and cold sweats with body aches. He could be curled up on the bathroom floor. Well, maybe he just ate a bad piece of fish. It is a perfectly healthy bodily response to try to get rid of that toxin and get rid of that bad piece of fish out of the body as quickly as possible. So the body starts throwing up and the body gets diarrhea and the body raises its temperature and gets a fever to try to kill the bacteria. All of these are perfectly healthy responses. But what do? We take something to stop the throwing up and stop the diarrhea and to bring the fever down. And all of this is counterproductive to the body's healthy response to eating a bad piece of fish. But you see, we're ingrained from the time we're little babies to this idea that it's bad to feel bad and it's good to feel good. And if I feel bad, I need to take something to feel better. And if I feel good, I'm healthy and I don't need to do anything with my health. And that's not true at all. Having no symptoms and being healthy is not the same thing. But we don't even pay attention to our health when we do have symptoms. We ignore them or blame them away or cover them up. So not only are we not paying attention to our health when we feel good, we're not even paying attention to the underlying health problems when we feel bad. And then you couple that with the day-to-day stresses that we put ourselves under as Americans, and then this go, 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 work, 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 drive ourselves into the ground attitude that we all suffer with. And then you add in the terrible diet that we have as Americans with all the processed, genetically modified, chemical-laden food that Americans eat that causes inflammation. And inflammation is the precursor to almost every disease, including cancer and heart disease. And then you add up that we don't sleep well. And then you add in all the traumas that we've had in our bodies in our lifetime. Everything from learning to walk to jumping off the bed, bicycle accidents, skateboards, high school sports, car accidents, falls and lifting injuries. And then Americans minimize their health problems, claiming that they're less important than what they are. I hear this every day in my practice. Oh, that headache, that's not a big deal. That's from work. Those allergy problems, well, that's from that tree over there. Oh, that numbness down my arm, that's going to go away. No, I didn't sleep well, but I can take this Ambien, I'll be good. All that's normal, I'm okay. And then we ignore all of this until we're 40 or 50, and the patient comes into me and goes, Doc, I don't know why I feel this way. I don't know why I'm so sick. But this has been their story throughout their whole life. All of a sudden, you started feeling this 20 years ago, and now it's bad enough that you can't stand it. And in their mind, they've had it since they can't stand it. So in their mind, they've had it a week or two. But they've actually been ignoring it for 20 years and just never addressed it. That's what I deal with every day in practice. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, is that our bodies are dealing with more than ever before in the history of mankind. Our bodies are overwhelmed. And this show is about how we turn all of this around, and I want 2018 to be the year that you do it. So I'm going to challenge you to do more than just a New Year's resolution. You have to take action for us to help you. You have to decide to try something new and something better. You can't give up or blame it away on age or the trees or genetics or anything else. You see, people want to blame their health problems for that thing over there. It's human nature not to want to admit that we have something wrong with us. Oh, it's my job. It's that tree. It's that pollen. It's that thing over there causing my health problems. Well, that tree doesn't bother me. The job doesn't do that, or everyone with that job would have the same symptom. It's not that you work in front of a computer or everybody in front of a computer would have what you have. So you have to understand, it's not that thing over there. It's something inside of you that's malfunctioning. The patients that I see, and by the way, I've seen over 10,000 patients in the last 20 years, so I get to see these patterns all the time. But the patients that I see that are the most successful at turning their health problems around are not the ones that just want to get their toe wet. Not the ones that come in and want to just give it a little try. You know, the ones that say, I can't come see you today, doc, I have a haircut, or I can't do my home program, doc, because I have kids, or I can't stop eating dairy, doc, because I like ice cream, or whatever their excuse is that they give. The patients that I see that actually solve their health problems are the one that comes in and bangs their fist on my desk and says, I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to turn this around because I don't want to live this way any longer. Sometimes maybe they had a big health scare. Maybe they thought they had a severe disease and found out they didn't. And it scared them enough that they're finally ready to do something. Don't wait on a health scare to get motivated. Your health is the most important quantity you have. More than money, more than things, more than prioritizing family time. Because without your health, you can't make your house payment. You can't take your kids fishing. You can't make it to work. Your health should be priority number one because without it, you can't take care of all of the other things that you have to do. And guys, I see this all the time. People that are this go, 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 drive, 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 I don't have time for myself, they end up in real serious trouble and then they can't take care of anything. I've seen that year after year after year over the last 20 years of my practice, and it's so unfortunate. You can't be there for your families or even hobbies if you lose your health. And I'm going to show you the pathway to solving today's worst health problems on this show every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. So set your phone as a reminder and tune into the show every week right here on KPEL at 10 o'clock. Now, I know one of the main things that you guys want to know about in 2018 are two things: how to lose weight and how to have more energy. And that's what we're going to talk about right after this short break, so don't go away. And if you're one of the many people out there that's interested in hearing about new solutions to your health problems, you can call my office right now at 837-7174 and leave your name and number on my voicemail. And when I get back to work Monday, I will personally call you and talk to you about what's going on with you and talk about how our unique approach might be able to solve your health problems. And if I don't think I can help you, I won't waste your time. We'll be able to talk about it right over the phone. It's 837-7174. We're going to do weight loss and more energy right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Get Well Acadiana with Dr. Kevin. Thank you so much for joining us. Before the break, we were discussing that health problems are from something wrong inside your body, not outside your body. It's not the trees or the pollen, otherwise everyone around trees and pollen would have the same thing you do. It's not the job, or everybody with that job would have the same thing. It's not your age, or everyone that age would have the same thing. But we have a tendency to blame that thing over there for our health problems. The question that we should be asking is, why are my cells doing what they're doing, and how can I get them to work better? You know, cells are designed to do things. A muscle cell contracts, a skin cell protects, a stomach cell produces acid, a nerve cell transmits, and on and on. Our bodies are made up of a group of cells, and those cells are genetically programmed to perform a function. And if all of those functions are working correctly, our body will be healthy. And when they're not performing that function the way they're supposed to, there's a reason. And when we can start to figure out those reasons and start to eliminate them one by one, now we're getting down to the real answers as to why you've lost your health. And only then can we begin to figure out how to change those cellular functions without drugs or surgery. And we ask that with every patient. Why are your cells doing what they're doing, and how can we get them to do something better? And when you start to address those questions, now we're getting down to the underlying issues we should be talking about. And you know, the truth is, there's lots of things we can do to make your cells behave better and to behave differently. There's so many amazing advancements right now in the field of natural health care to get your cells to respond better. Because if your cells work better, your tissues will work better. And if your tissues begin to work, then your organs will heal, and then you will regain your health. And obviously, the longer it goes, the more the cells have become damaged, and the harder it is to turn them around. So the longer the patients put it off, the more damage done. So the earlier we get to it, the better. So many patients put their health problems off thinking, oh, maybe it'll go away. In fact, I have a plaque in my office that says, 5 dangerous words. Maybe it will go away. And that's so true. So I want to encourage all of you to address your health problems early. That doesn't mean that it's too late for you if you didn't do that. If you've been ignoring it for years, there's still answers out there. It just means that we have more work ahead of us. The typical patient that comes to us most of the time, we're their last hope, unfortunately. They've been to every specialist. They've been to Houston and New Orleans, to all these quote-unquote experts to try to find out a solution to their problems. And guess what? They're still sick. In fact, Brandon, one time I had a patient that I was doing a phone consultation with, and she was having pretty severe headaches. And I was asking her to describe her headaches, and I was taking notes on my desk. And at the bottom, I wrote cluster headaches, because that's kind of what she was describing to me. Now, we're just having a phone conversation. And so I didn't hear from her for a couple of weeks, and she told me if I didn't hear from her to call and check on her. So I called and checked on her, and this is what she said. No, I went to Houston. I spent 3 days at a headache specialist over there, and they run about $20,000 worth of tests, and they figured out what I have. And I was expecting them to say like pineal tumor or, something real rare. She goes, I have cluster headaches.
Oh, man.
Oh. I wrote that from a 5-minute phone conversation with her. That didn't answer anything.
Yeah.
Like, she still didn't know what was wrong with her. But in her mind, she found the answer. They labeled it. So in her mind, they figured out what it was. And I said, well, did they figure out why? Well, no, they didn't talk about that.
Oh, man.
So we got her straight now, but that's the thinking that people have that get them in real trouble. One of the first things that we look at with almost every condition that we see, so once we have a patient that we start to address their health problems, one of the very first things that we look at with almost every condition that we see is we address this issue of energy deficit. So your body must run off of a never-ending supply of energy, just like your car must run off of a never-ending supply of gasoline. And by the way, listeners, when I say energy, I'm not talking about energy in this metaphorical kind of hippie way of talking about energy. Not at all. Our body makes a packet of energy called adenine triphosphate, or ATP. ATP to your cells is what a gallon of gas is to your car. ATP is a packet of energy that your cells burn, just like your car burns gallons of gas. So I don't mean energy. When I say energy, I don't mean this weird metaphorical sense. Not at all. We're finding that in almost every patient that we evaluate has an energy problem. So before we ever attempt to do anything else, we have to address this. And I want you guys to pay really close attention to what I'm saying here. Almost 100% of the patients that we see have this energy deficit problem, meaning that your body is burning up these ATP faster than it can make them. Now, honestly, this is happening for 2 reasons. Number one is our requirements of ATP is higher than it's ever been because our bodies are dealing with more than ever before. And number 2, our body's ability to make these ATP gallons of gas or energy is not near as good as what it used to be. So we're not making enough of them and we're burning them faster. So it's a twofold problem. I mean, listen, if I ask all of you in the audience, do you ever feel like your body has burned more energy at the end of the day than it was able to make? Most people that I talk to say that's exactly how I feel. That's because that's exactly what's happening. What you feel is exactly, what your body feels is exactly what's going on. Now, whenever you run on this energy deficit, eventually your body will sort of go into this crisis mode, and you cannot be in crisis mode and healing mode at the same time. It is a physiological impossibility. So what happens because of this energy deficit is your body is going to shut down proper function to most of its non-essential systems. So your body literally goes, hormones, I don't have the energy for that. That's going to have to wait. Digestion, sorry, low energy, can't do that very well. Libido, no way we have any energy for that. Strong immune system, so I don't get sick, sorry, we're out of energy, no time for that. So many of you out there are living in this energy deficit crisis mode, sometimes for years, and you don't even know that it's happening. Now, your body will not heal, and your cells will not work correctly, and you will not get well, and things will never turn around as long as you're stuck in this energy deficit problem. So before we start to address the specific condition or disease process that you're dealing with, we have to do two things. Number one is we have to stop the places that your body is burning through these energy packets, and we have 6 main ways that we look to do that. And number two is we have to increase your body's ability to make these energy packets better, and we have about 4 ways that we do that. Now, once we get this energy deficit problem turned around, not only are you going to feel like your old self again, but your body can't even begin to heal whatsoever until this thing is addressed. So all of those systems that your body had shut down will begin to kick in and start to work better. The hormones, the libido, the energy, the digestion, all of those things will start to come back. Keep in mind, guys, almost 100% of the patients that we test have this. Almost 100% of you are running on this low energy deficit state. And by the way, you can never and will never lose weight permanently if you're running on this energy deficit. It's a physiological impossibility because your body will slow down its metabolism. And metabolism is key to having a healthy weight. And this energy thing is something that we have to address right off the bat so that we can move forward. So this is a big portion of our weight loss program that we do. If you don't have the energy or metabolism to burn fat, you can only starve yourself for so long and it work out. And usually on our weight loss program, I have to have my patients eat more food, not less, because we've got to get the energy up and we've got to restore this energy debt problem, or you have no chance of permanent weight loss. And as a nationally certified weight loss coach, I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people lose weight naturally and easily and without starving themselves and without eating like a rabbit. And next week, we're going to be starting our 2018 Healthy Body, Healthy Weight program. Now, we've got room to accept 12 people at each office to go into this program this round. We'll be doing consultations to see who we want to accept for this program this round. We only have room for 12 because this takes a lot of time. This is me sitting down with each participant and creating a completely customized protocol for each patient involved, because the truth is the same thing doesn't work for everyone. There are going to be 12 people in the program, and every single one of them will have a different set of circumstances and problems and malfunctions preventing them from losing weight and regaining their energy. Different set of problems signaling fat storage in the body. Each will have a different set of reasons they're in energy deficit. Therefore, each one will need a different program. This is a customized, doctor-supervised program. And the first thing that we do is we address the underlying reasons why your body is gaining weight and why it has lost its energy. And that's what makes this program so different. And the funny thing is, I've been doing this a long time, and it's almost never food. There are underlying things happening inside your body that are signaling fat storage. And only by addressing those first will we ever be successful. And I'm going to go into some of that right after this break. But if you think that you might want to be one of these 12 participants to our 2018 Healthy Body, Healthy Weight program, you can call and leave your name and number at my office and say you're interested in participating in our 2018 body program, and I'll call you Monday and tell you a little bit more about it. My number at the Lafayette Broussard office is 837-7174. That's 837-7174. Dr. Fontenot's number in New Iberia is 367-2
2567, or you can get both numbers on our Facebook page at the Bryant Wellness Institute. Each office will be taking 12 participants and walking them step by step to a completely transformed individual. Now, we only have room for 12 people, and I'm going to take 12 people that are serious. This is not something you can dip your toe in and to see about getting your toe wet to see if it's going to work. You have to be dedicated to transforming yourself in order for this program to work. We've done this hundreds and hundreds of times, and we know what it takes. You will never be hungry. You will see yourself transformed into someone who's full of energy, that's a healthy weight, that's preventing disease and age-related disorders in the body. And I don't care if you have 200 pounds to lose or 20. Each person is an individual. Each set of problems that they're suffering with is individual. And the solutions to get them where they need to be also needs to be individual. And that's what we do. The number's 837-7174. I'm going to discuss some of the reasons why your body is signaling fat storage when we get back from break, so don't go away.
Welcome back to Get Well Acadiana with Dr. Kevin. Thank you for joining us. And before break, we were discussing our 2018 Healthy Body, Healthy Weight program. And the important thing about that is the healthy body part, not the weight loss part. The truth is, guys, weight loss is just a side effect of getting your body working, and that's just as honest as I could be about it. You can't starve yourself to permanent weight loss. You can't trick your body to permanent weight loss. You can't sprinkle something on your hamburger and expect permanent weight loss. Remember those commercials, Sensa, I think it was called? I think it's been taken off the market now since then. But guys, listen. Americans spend billions of dollars on these potions and pills and tricks and gimmicks. And the only way for you to become healthy is to sit down with someone that knows what they're doing and figures out all of the underlying reasons of why you've lost your health and what is signaling your body to store fat. Because there are things doing that. There are things signaling fat storage in your body. There are maybe one or two or maybe even 6 or 7 things out there, but it's something. Now, once we determine all of these underlying reasons of why you've lost your health, why you've gained weight, and why you're low energy, once we determine that, then we can sit down and say, how do we reverse this? How do we solve the underlying energy deficit and boost your metabolism? How do we change your metabolism into a fat-burning machine? How do we get your cells and organs to function like a finely tuned machine? And how do we give your body the fuel when it needs and how much it needs? And if you do that, and you do it in that order that makes sense to your body has no choice but to get healthy and go into its ideal weight. Now, there are several things that can signal fat storage in the body. Having this low ATP or this energy deficit is one of the main ones. That's usually what we start with, and that's usually a primary thing. As your energy level goes down, your metabolism slows. As your metabolism slows, you burn less calories. As you burn less calories, you gain more fat. So just this energy problem I talked about in the first segment, that by itself, if you did nothing else and only that, would probably get you to your goal, but that's only part of the whole program. But when you add it with the other steps of the program, like I said, your body has no choice but to lose weight, increase its metabolism, and give you your energy back. Now, one of the other things that I see signal fat storage in the body all the time is stress. You see, stress puts our body into this fight or flight response. So back in the hunter-gatherer days, our body developed a defense mechanism called fight or flight. And if a predator is chasing me, or if another tribe or clan is trying to come attack me, my body goes into this reflex called fight or flight. And you can't decide it. It just happens. You can't avoid it. You can't just decide not to have this. Now, when I go into fight or flight response, there are over 50 physiological changes that happen in my body, and I'm going to give you the top 4. The first thing that happens because I'm going into fight or flight response is my blood pressure goes up. My body thinks I need a lot of blood pressure because I'm about to fight or run for my life. And let's raise our blood pressure so that's already ready to go. That's where all these high blood pressure problems come from. The second thing that happens under stress, under fight or flight, the second thing is my body takes the blood from my digestive system and my other non-essential organs like my reproductive organs, and it moves that blood into my arms and legs. So my body thinks, well, we're going to be in a fight or we're going to run. We need a lot of blood in the arms and legs, and we don't need to worry about digesting our food or reproduction or anything non-essential. So those systems are shut down, and that blood is moved into my arms and legs. So this is where all the digestive and reproductive and other issues come from. The third thing that happens is my sleep hormones shut down. You're not going to be running from a predator and all of a sudden yawn and get sleepy, right? It's not going to happen. So think about this. Imagine if you're laying there in bed tonight, about to go to sleep, and you hear your front door glass break open. So you get your pistol and you go downstairs, and the cat just knocked a vase off of the mantel. And that's what the glass breaking was. Are you going to go back to sleep right away? You're not, right? You're going to probably be shaking. Your sleep hormones are going to be shot. So under stress, under fight or flight response, the sleep hormones will never work correctly. A telltale sign of this is a person that wakes up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning wide awake. So they're laying there asleep, 2 or 3 in the morning, boom, their eyes open, and they have trouble going back to sleep. The fourth thing that happens under stress is my body produces a hormone called cortisol. Now, cortisol is great in a fight because it's anti-inflammatory. So if I get injured, I already have cortisol in my system to help that. But when cortisol gets produced day after day after day, it becomes a weight-storing hormone. So think about this. If you guys have ever known anybody that the doctor put on an extended round of cortisone, what happens to their weight in their face, right? They get puffy and they swell up. Well, your body makes its own cortisone under stress called cortisol. So stress causes you to be puffy and overweight. And here's the problem with all this. We don't have a predator chasing us. We don't have another tribe trying to come take us over. We have the bills, the boss, the traffic, the kids, the house payment, the car payment, the groceries, the electric bill, the air conditioner breaks, the refrigerator goes out. More bills come in the mail. We live in this fight or flight response from the time we wake up in the morning to the time we take our Ambien and Xanax to pass out at night. Now, we have a very neat solution to this in our 2018 Healthy Body, Healthy Weight program. I can't make the stress go away. I can't change the bills. I can't change the traffic. But what I can do is protect your adrenal system from going into fight or flight response and naturally rebuild it without drugs or surgery. So the stress will still be there. Your body just won't go into these physiologically damaging changes when you're under stress. And we can rebuild the system, and it will make a world of difference. In fact, you can't lose weight if you have extra cortisol and your stress glands are shot. So if we don't address that first, you cannot be successful. So understand, we are getting to the underlying reasons that your body has gained weight these years. Not just, here's a cookie cutter food program, good luck. We have to address the underlying reasons that your body is being signaled to store fat. And if we do that, once we get to the nutrition part of it, once we get to the food part of it, it's easy. Losing weight does not have to be this hard. It does not have to be the battle that most people think it is. When you address these underlying things first, it's so much easier. You can be successful if you address these things first. If you think you want to be one of the 12 participants in our 2018 Healthy Body, Healthy Weight program, you can call the office and leave your name and number on the machine and say, I want to be one of the 12. We're doing consultations next week to make sure you're going to be a candidate in the program and you're going to be successful. I'm only going to accept those people that I really think can be successful, so I won't waste your time. You can call the office and leave your name and number and say, I want to be one of the 12. I'll call you Monday and talk to you a little more about it. The number is 837-7174. That's 837-7174. And in New Iberia, Dr. Fontenot's doing the same program at 367-2567, or you can get all of those numbers on Facebook at the Bryant Wellness Institutes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Well Acadiana with Dr. Kevin. Thank you for joining us today on the show. Before break, we were discussing a few of the keys to our Healthy Body, Healthy Weight program. And if you'll notice, I haven't said a word about food yet. Like I said earlier, you'd be surprised that food's not normally the problem. Most people aren't eating enough and often enough and the right things. I interview patients for weight loss almost every day, and they almost always say, well, I don't eat that much. Why do I look like this? The key to our success is that we have to address the underlying reasons why your body is signaling fat storage in the first place. And I've had time to cover a few of them today, but there are several more. And when you start our Healthy Body program by addressing the underlying reasons the body is signaling fat storage in the first place, when you get to the food part, it's easy. It does not have to be this hard. Most people are fighting an uphill battle with weight loss because they have so many signals that are counterintuitive in their body for them to lose weight. And so they're wanting to do it. They're motivated to do it. Their body is just so slow to get there that they get discouraged. And our program is totally different than that. Now, when we do get to the food, when we do start to address that, we don't count calories or points. These programs where you're counting calories and counting points are set up to fail. It's not a permanent solution. These calorie counter programs are short term. And listen, I've personally lost 73 pounds. I went from a size 40 waist to a 30 waist. I've been studying this for, 10 years now. And I ended up becoming a master's physique champion using these exact techniques. And counting calories does not work. And let me explain why. Imagine you're sitting at your dinner table and I put 2 plates in front of you. On one plate, I have a nice big piece of chocolate cake. And the total calories of that, probably about 500. And so I put another plate in front of you. And on that plate, I have 3 beautiful chicken breasts. Total calories, probably about 500. So I have a cake and 3 chicken breasts, and both are 500 calories. Are those 2 plates going to do the same thing in your body? Gosh, we wish they would, but that's just not the case, right? The cake is going to go signal fat storage, insulin production, and go straight on the stomach. The chicken breasts are not. So do you see why calorie counter programs don't work? Your body does not look at the food that you eat as calories. It looks at it as macronutrients. So when we start to look at how many proteins, carbohydrates, and fats you take in every day, well, that just makes way more sense. That's how your body looks at food. When you swallow a bite of food, your body says, is this a protein, a carbohydrate, or a fat? And then your body metabolizes it based on that food group. I can't even tell you close to how many calories I've had a day, but I can tell you exactly how many proteins, carbs, and fats I have every day and every day into the future. I've maintained my weight loss for 6 years now because I have a maintenance program. Once you get to your goal weight, that you can never gain it back. If you follow the program, it's impossible. My big revelation, and listen, people have to get to a point to where they're ready. I don't know if they just look in the mirror one day and decide I've had enough, or maybe they have a health scare and decide I've had enough. Whatever that reason is that they decide to get healthy, you have to get to the point to where you decide. Mine was when I was 40 years old. I was obese. I had high blood pressure. I was pre-diabetic. I had sleep apnea and mild depression. And then I had my son. And as I'm looking into the eyes of my new baby boy, I got started a little late in life. I was 40. I thought if I want to see graduation, if I want to see grandkids, if I want to watch grandkids grow up, I've got to make a change. And that's when I began researching all of this. That's when I began to put this program together and study from some of the absolute experts in this field. And now that I've been researching this for, 7 to 10 years now, this is the program that actually works, and you have to do it in the correct order. You can't jump to the food without addressing the underlying reasons first. A lot of what I do is to help you achieve your goals, and we do that without having to eat like a rabbit. And something that's important and complicated is having good health. And how complicated the human body is, cookie cutter programs don't work. You have to have a coach. All of these stars that lose all of this weight, they all have coaches. Having me as your coach and consultant and physician to work through all of these issues and figure out why your individual body is signaling fat storage, that's what makes this so different. And that's why we have success when every other program out there has failed. Because it's not a program for everyone. It's a program for you. It's doctor supervised, backed up by the best research, and it's all natural. So if you want to be one of the 12 people that we're accepting this round from each office for our 2018 Healthy Body, Healthy Weight program, all you have to do is call my office at 837-7174 and leave your name and number on the machine and say, I want to be one of the 12, and I'll call you back Monday to discuss what we need to do in order to get you started on the right track. And if I don't think I can help you, we can part as friends. But if I do, we'll sit down and figure this out together. My number in Lafayette and Broussard is 837-7174. That's 837-7174. And in New Iberia, their number is 367-2567. Or you can get both numbers on our Facebook page at the Bryant Wellness Institutes. Also, guys, you should go right now and like our Facebook page at Bryant Wellness Institutes. Now, I do a live show there every Thursday at noon called Dr. Kevin Live and Online. You can put questions up. It's interactive. We have a lot of great issues that we talk about. We break it down. It's really a great show. So I want to invite all of you to tune in Thursdays at noon on Dr. Kevin Live and Online on the Bryant Wellness Institute's Facebook page. And remember, our 2018 Healthy Body, Healthy Weight program, this is your chance. We've got room for 12. The number is 837-7174. Thank you all. Thank you for listening. Set your alarm for the show every Saturday. It's going to be one fantastic year in 2018. We'll be discussing some of the most difficult to treat health problems out there every week on the show, talking about natural solutions to each one of these complex health problems. And if you want to participate and be one of the 12, it's 837-7174. Thank you guys again. See you soon.